Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Solo Dolo, and we just watched SmackDown Eve of Backlash, and it was good. I personally believe this was one of the best SmackDowns that we have had since WrestleMania 40. Thought the matches was great. It built up some great storytelling for tomorrow's pay-per-view in France. And man, let's just jump into it and get to it. So we start off with a match, not a promo, an actual match, and that was awesome. We had an 8-woman. It was an 8-woman tag team match. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm positive. Me and my brother was watching. I'm positive that they said it was a 6-woman tag team match. Then out of nowhere, it was like 8 women. So a little bit of confusion there. But we had the women's championship, Bayley and Naomi and Becca Belair and Jay Carter versus Damage Control and Tiffany Stratton. This was a good match, a lot of technical support. It told a great story for tomorrow because all these women are in a match tomorrow for a championship. You have Jay Cargill and Becca Belair versus Damage Control for the women's tag team championship. You got Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton in a triple threat match for the women's championship. So that's gonna be good. And there was some good detailed storytelling here, because there was a part where everybody was down and Bayley was gonna try, well, she wasn't trying, but she was looking at Bianca and like, you gonna let me tag you in? And Bianca was just standing there. She never put her arm out to be tagged. Well, Jay Cargill finally gets up and puts her arm out, gets the tag, and gets some stuff done. And the winners of that match were Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jay Cargill. I really loved that match. I thought probably one of the best matches we've had in a hot minute. Especially a tag team match with that many tag teams involved, especially in the women's division. You know, a couple years ago, they came out with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They can be defended on Raw and SmackDown, and I've been very disappointed with them. Seems like they haven't really elevated that women's division to where they said they were going to when they announced the Women's Tag Team Championships. Not really that many good women tag team champions or opponents. Like, we have great women tag teams. Like, we have a great women's division, but they're not pushing them to the moon. You know, Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair, the Damage Control. I can't think of others right now, but there are some good women's tag team champions. So Sonya Deville and her tag team partner, powerhouse team right there, could be monsters in the game. They're not going anywhere, and WWE really needs to fix that. They really need to push their women's division. That they had a great thing with the women's revolution, and it was going great, but now it's just going downhill. It's been going downhill for 2 or 3 years now, and they need to get that fixed and get it to where it needs to be. Well, then we had A-Town Down Under cut a little promo about their match tonight with the Street Profits. It was alright. And then after that, we had another promo with Bianca and Jay Cargill talking in the back about their tag team match tomorrow night and them winning. And like, this is what I'm talking about, that great storytelling. Bianca was just going on and on about how she wants to be done with Damage Control, and after tomorrow night, she will be done with Damage Control. And she was just like looking at Bayley, screaming it at Bayley, telling Bayley like, yeah, I'm done with Damage Control. Because you gotta remember, ever since Damage Control has been around, one of their main targets has been Bianca Belair. And I like how they're continuing the story. Yeah, Bayley is a face now, but she did all this horrible stuff to Bianca for like 2 years, and you think she's just gonna forget about that overnight? Great storytelling there. Appreciate that. And then we had another promo with Carmella Hayes from NXT, who came over to SmackDown. He faced Cody Rhodes last week, didn't win, and he was talking to the general manager, Nick Pearson. He was telling him that he was entering the King of the Ring. Well, then Bobby Lashley walked in and, was trying to tell him that he would give him some advice. The young blood was all like, yeah, man, I already faced the champion. I got this all figured out on my own. Kind of started talking smack to Bobby Lashley and was like, man, when was your last shot? And he gave him a piece of free advice. Watch who you talk to, the way you talk to people. So definitely good seed planting for a future story, rival. I think that would be a good rival right there. And then we finally had another match there for like 15, 20 minutes. It was nothing but promo after promo. But this show felt extremely long. I was getting a little tired and was fighting it like, oh man, it's only been 30 minutes. Well, then we had the New Catch Republicans versus the Authors of Pain in a tag team match. Again, this was a good match. There was a lot of back and forth. The Authors of Pain being huge dudes, very strong. A lot of high moves, a lot of going for the knees, getting them to drop, fast and quick, and that was good. With the New Catch Republicans, just a lot of back and forth, so I was really excited about that match. And the Authors of Pain won with the assistance of Karrion Kross. And then we had the general manager and Paul Heyman talking. Paul Heyman was telling him, please have RKO back out of their match with the Bloodline tomorrow night. And here's a neat little thing they put in there. Paul Heyman admits that he's not talked to the Tribal Chief since WrestleMania. Then admits that he was the one that pulled the Tribal Chief from the draft last weekend. That was good. And Nick Aldis told him, well, he can go out there then and talk to RKO about it. And then we went straight into the RKO show, the first ever RKO show with Randy Orton and KO. So RKO show. And that is what I will be calling this team for now on. Is just RKO, Team RKO. And this was good. They talked about why they shouldn't be in the match, and it was funny because Paul Heyman asked if he could come in the ring, and Randy Orton was like, yeah, come on in here. And Kevin Owens, being a genius, immediately said, you can't just immediately RKO him. And Randy pulled this great line, yeah, of course, not immediately. I'm more of a out of nowhere guy. I thought that was hilarious. Really, really good. Oh man, that was perfect. Then they were talking, and Randy Orton asked Paul Heyman, who is the real Tribal Chief? Paul Heyman kind of looked like, oh, well, you put me in a tough spot, and I know, and all these fans know there's only one. And before he could say anything, boom, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga attacked him. They get in this huge brawl, fight for a little bit and stuff. Security gets called, and you know what happens when security gets called. They get beat up by a wrestler. Wrestling 101, we all know it. Well, then we went in, and the Street Profits cut a promo about them going to win tonight and become the tag team champions. Then we had our next match, LA Knight versus Angel, and it was a good match. Good match. And LA Knight won, but it was what happened after the match where LA Knight officially enters the Royal Rumble. LA Knight officially enters the King of the Ring. Santo Escobar kind of entered the King of the Ring. Not really for sure. It was kind of worded a little bit weird. And then we had a promo with Carlito cut a promo about what he did, basically saying, he's been gone for a long time and he came back and wanted one more WrestleMania moment, and then basically his family didn't choose him. They chose this other guy that's just only been there for a little bit, so that's why he did what he did. And then Dragon Lee attacked him out of nowhere. The guy in Dragon Lee gave it to him for a little bit. Rey Mysterio was there too and was kind of holding Dragon Lee back, so we're definitely going to do that match here soon. And then we had our tag team match, A-Town Down Under versus the Street Profits, and this was good. I mean, the technical skill level of these two teams, their teamwork, from certain moves they hit, coast to coast. Grayson Waller being able to kick out of one of the Street Profits tag team finishers, and they stole the win. Basically, there was a little distracting with the ref. She missed the pin from the Street Profits, allowing A-Town Down Under to switch it over, steal the pin, and win the match. So they're still your WWE Tag Team Champions. And then it was time for our main event. AJ Styles face to face with Cody Rhodes again. They talked, and AJ Styles is getting old. He made a comment about everybody calling him old and that he doesn't have it anymore and stuff. I think that's going to be a good match. And they talked. Well, AJ Styles slaps Cody Rhodes before he leaves the ring, just the disrespect. So that was all right. And then, man, at the very end, like not even a minute long, in the back, you see that RKO is still fighting with the Bloodline in the back. They got chairs they're trying to hit each other with. They're just beating the crap out of each other. But here's my problem. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's been noticing this, but WWE SmackDown is from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, a 2-hour show. And within that 10 hours, there are normally 10 commercials. It's like every couple minutes, boom, commercial, boom, commercial. I mean, we went a little bit where we had all those promos. It was nothing but promos. And then a commercial, then another promo, and then a match. I was like, come on, man, all these promotions. But the past 2 times that I have watched Friday Night SmackDown, they have been cutting us off 3 minutes. The show has been going off air at 9:57, not 10 o'clock. And used to, it was right at 10 o'clock the show ended. So they've been cutting us out of 3 minutes. And tonight, it really pissed me off. Because that was 3 minutes where we really could have drugged this backstage fight out between RKO and the Bloodline and took it just a little bit more to the extreme, a little bit more of a taste of what we're going to get tomorrow night at Backlash. But again, 3 whole minutes we lost. It was just all ads, and then boom, 10 o'clock news came on. And used to, it would end right at 10 o'clock, there'd be a short clip about the news coming on, maybe an ad, 1 or 2 ads, and then the news would come on. And now it's like, boom, it ends at 9:57, 3 minutes of ads and commercials, and then 10 o'clock comes, boom, 10 o'clock news is on. And that just makes me mad. I don't know if I'm the only one that's really been noticing it. I say I'm not. I mean, anybody that watch wrestling, they're going to tell when they're cutting us off, sure. I mean, that's 3 minutes of wrestling we're missing that the fans are getting cheated out of. 3 whole minutes. And like, the last time it happened, it didn't really bother me as much, because the ending they gave made sense with, the way it ended and still having 3 minutes of spare time left for advertising. But this week, it hurt the show so bad because, it was 8:56. AJ Styles smacks Cody Rhodes, and then jumps out of the ring. Boom, clip cuts to them in the back fighting for 30 seconds. Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa got the steel chair, and they're trying to hit each other, and then boom, it's over. And there's still a whole 3 minutes. I just felt like we were cheated, like they were going to do something a little bit more with that and really build upon that story for tomorrow night. Now, I will say this. I do believe the Bloodline is going to win that match, just because everything that's going on with the Bloodline and stuff, and it would add to the story of the Bloodline. Like, look, the new Tribal Chief runs the show, and we just beat a 6-time world champion, a main eventer, a Royal Rumble winner, the legend killer Randy Orton, and a 2-time world champion, 1-time United States, 1-time Intercontinental, and I believe a Royal Rumble winner. I don't think Kevin Owens has won the Royal Rumble. Somebody fact check me in the comments and let me know. But other than that, I really do believe, and me and my brother were watching it, and we was talking back and forth. Shout out to my little bro. And we were talking about it, and we were like, man, this is the best SmackDown we've had since WrestleMania. Like, WrestleMania happened, and then it was just talk, promoting. And I do have one slight problem right now. One slight problem that WWE needs to fix ASAP before it becomes too bad. Cody Rhodes finished his story, and when one story ends, a new one begins. But it feels like we are not going in that story that we need to be headed to. Because no offense to Cody Rhodes, like, I am super glad that he won at WrestleMania, but we are still focusing on the bloodline. The bloodline is still running the show. Like, the crowd were really chanting tonight, we want Roman, we want Roman, when it was coming to the bloodline stuff. And, the bloodline's been so big that, we have to continue that story. We have to continue the bloodline story, because you can't just end it now. You have to keep it going some way, somehow. And the championship is no longer involved right now with that story. I do believe the championship will come and play later down this year, but when we're doing this stuff with the bloodline and who the tribal chief is, and Solo running wild on SmackDown with Tama Tonga, and Cody Rhodes is over here with the championship. We need to be focusing on Cody Rhodes too. Like, he has a huge target on his back. And yes, AJ Styles is a phenomenal pick for his first opponent and a title defense at a paper, but it's so held back. Like, Cody's such a baby face, it feels like they're afraid to do anything hard with him. But he's the kind of baby face where he's not at the level of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was an outlaw. He was the baby face, but he was a heel. And he's not at the level of Super Cena, the ultimate baby face. He is the average man babyface. He's a good guy, but even good guys can fall, and they really need to be, showing him, he ain't gonna back down from a fight. Have him beat AJ Styles. Have him beat LA Knight. You could do Randy Orton, the Legend Killer. Like, imagine that at a pay-per-view. The American Nightmare versus the Legend Killer. The story you could do there. Have him win, but make it a real fight. And no help. Because Roman will get in these serious battles with these other superstars and have great matches. But again, somebody from the bloodline always got involved and saved him. Saved his championship. Kept the championship in the bloodline. And he couldn't win at WrestleMania. And the bloodline did everything they could to make sure he stayed the champ. But he could not get the job done. And that's why, the bloodlines turn on him. But with Cody, he had to have the backup, because if he didn't, no matter how hard he fought, no matter how many crossroads he gave, how many times he hit Roman, beat him down, there was always somebody there to screw him over. But now he's done with the bloodline right now. So he needs to be on his own, opponent after opponent, match after match, and not all championship matches. That's why I loved what they did last week, where he fought the new guy. I just said him earlier on the video from NXT, came to SmackDown, and the first thing he did was challenge the champion, Cody Rhodes. Him. I can't remember his name right now. I can't find it in my notes. It's been a long night. And that was not a title match. And that's what I'm saying. Don't do just a title match, just a fight here, stuff. Let him come, every week, every 2 weeks, and, he's putting in the work. He's proven that he can carry the weight of the championship. He has a huge target on his back. Everybody wants the gold. So he needs to be fighting everybody. I mean, every week, man, somebody's coming after him. He's being attacked. He's fighting 2-3 guys at once, just, wanting to take his championship and really build him up. Because what I'm afraid of and what bothers me is they're doing all this great stuff with the bloodline. All this great stuff right now. Really building that up to Roman's return. And what? Is The Rock going to come back and fight Cody Rhodes for the championship? Or is Roman Reigns going to destroy the bloodline and then go back after the championship? Or will it be a triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and The Rock? Like, who knows? But if you're not building Cody up, night after night as the championship, proving that he can hold the weight, when somebody like The Rock comes back, you're going to be like, oh man, he's going to lose. Or Roman comes back and thousands of people with the one finger up acknowledging the tribal chief has returned. He will go back after his championship, not right away. First, he's going to have to deal with the bloodline, get them in order, be the chief, and once that's handled, he'll go after the champion. But you're doing all this great stuff with him, and then you're going to get on the side of Cody, and I was like, man, what has Cody really done since his WrestleMania match? And I know it's only been like a month almost since, basically a month since WrestleMania, and I know he's fought a couple of indie fights since then, but he's only had one match on SmackDown in a month. One match, and that was last week. He should have had a match that Friday night, like after he won the championship, when he was doing the whole talk and celebrating. Somebody should have came out and like, I want to fight you now. And it didn't have to be a title match. It simply could have just been a match and like show, like, hold up, I am the champion. I got this huge target on my back and everybody wants what I have. If I ain't constantly fighting, scratching, pulling, taking a beating, I can't hold this championship. And that's what's like really bothering me right now with Cody. Because, he walks around with the belt, showing it off, kissing it. And yeah, he earned it. But AJ Styles made a comment tonight, and it felt like he was kind of being like for real with it. Like, your eye ain't on the game. You ain't focused on what you need to be focusing about. You need to be focusing on the battle. You've won one war, but there's always another war ready to be fought. So you always have to be ready, always be fighting, always be sharpening your tools. Make sure you got everything in your tool belt nice and shine. You know how to pull it out at any given time. But hopefully WWE sees that soon, because I hate to say it, but I'm losing faith in the American Nightmare. Man, if they don't do something, like, don't turn him heel. That would be the worst thing, is turning Cody Rhodes heel right now. Right now is the key. Keep him the baby face. We've had a heel champion for way too long. We need a good fighting babyface champion. And just make him do the work. I was very impressed about his match last week. First match in over about a month on SmackDown. Yes, he has done on the independent scene and house shows, but as the SmackDown champion, he's only had one match, and now he has his defense match. And I believe AJ Styles had 3 SmackDown matches since WrestleMania. So, experience and stuff. Who's really working the hardest? Who's wrestling on Friday night, and then the next day they in the gym pumping the iron, like not even 24 hours after having a gruesome match. Like, that's how it is in the game. But that was just, Friday Night SmackDown and some of my thoughts on the show. I'm really interested in y'all's thoughts. Very interested to see what y'all want to say down in the comments. Any questions y'all might have. And y'all's predictions for tomorrow night Backlash. And that's it. Solo Dolo. I'm going to ride out.